Well, friends, I've gotten started on the tool shed for the bandsaw mill, the tool shed edition. I'm just catching you up on where I am right now. I didn't feel like you needed to see this part right here. I mean, basically, in the last video where I charred the post, I showed you that I had dug holes. I spoke briefly about this project. So now where I'm at, I've got my post set in the ground, about a half a bucket of gravel in the bottom of each hole. I like to use lateral bracing. When you're working alone, this method really helps out a lot. I stood each pole up. I already had my bracing in place over here and measured down 12 foot, made marks on my bracing where I needed it to be. And so when I set the post, I could reach down, grab this, pull it up to the 12-foot mark and tack it in place. I've done the same thing up top and as well as the other posts. And that just allows you an easier method working alone to get these posts squared and leveled up. An extra pair of hands would be really nice, but I don't have that right now. My son's too small to be out here. He would be if I'd let him, but some of this is a little bit too heavy for him to be messing with right now. So the lateral bracing has got everything 12 foot away. You got two braces 12 foot, so it's got no other choice but to be level. That post is level, so if you come off the same distance and set your lateral bracing, that one's the same and it is level. So I'm doing that all the way around. I haven't got the top one up right here across the back, but they are level right now, and that bottom is at 12 foot tacked in place. I have a few diagonal bracings up, but I'll get that top one in place, and then I will pull my tape measure from corner to corner to make sure I'm square. And that is another reason I haven't filled these holes in where the post is. That allows me the benefit of making adjustments left to right. There's no need to make adjustments this way because those lateral bracings ensure that's 12 foot exactly. It's level. This one's level. That's not going anywhere. All right, here what I did was took those diagonal bracings, and once I got all my lateral bracings up, I just used them to brace that off where it wouldn't move. And what this done was enabled me to be able to get in that center and pick up on that, lifting both posts and either shift left to right. I did have to shift a little bit to the right to get square and to get in line, get the poles in line going down the mill. What I got here on the mill is 5 2x8s I just got done cutting. And I got one already up. I'll bring you over to look at it. Well, I'm working by myself and I only have 2 hands, so put me a cheater block there. Got my Irwin clamp in place just to hold that from falling off. That is dead on right there. Dead level. All right, the band is all the way around. I still got to here and check the very back. Oh yeah, we are dead level. Dead level here. Dead level. And you saw me use the little Irwin clamp and the little piece of block as my second pair of hands when I'm working alone. I'm able to get one side up and hold it in place with that little ledge I got held up while I secure one end and come back. That method really helps out a lot. If you're working by yourself, that's a good way to get by. Of course, you saw me use the clamp to pull this in. When you saw me put the square up and hold it in place with a clamp and pull my tape, again, a second pair of hands. I don't have anybody holding the tape while I pull it to get an accurate measurement. So, you know, my span out here was a 1/4 inch shorter than this. It was bowed a little bit, so I used that clamp and a piece of blocking to pull that in tight before I nailed it so it would be true. So just little tricks and tips that may help you out if you're working alone. Center of support is in place. I went ahead and put the first floor joist in place. Got those two main beams in the center, 2x8, 2x8 banding. I added a ledger and then cut 2 true 2x6s, which will go across and make up my floor joist. Well, I only had an hour to work out here this evening and my phone battery's almost dead, so I went ahead and got the first half of the flooring in place, and then I'll run you through the second half. I didn't feel like you needed to watch me do the entire thing, so it's on 2-foot centers and it's going to be plenty sturdy for this building. Normally I would always go 16 centers, but for what this thing's going to be, I'm going to be putting 1-inch thick boards on top. But that's half of the flooring system in. So I will pick back up in the morning. I'm going to get up early. The weather's going to be excellent, probably around 60 degrees. Awesome working weather. And I'm going to come out here and let you see me do that entire section over there, just like I did this one. Right there, and then try to hit the nail. Stand right here. Let me get the camera. Good job, Ryan. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the flooring on this video. I just wanted to get all the joists and beams in place. I hope you've enjoyed so far. I tried not to do a lot of talking, but rather just show more of the work. You saw me put the little ledgers down first, and that gave me a place for the 2x6 joist to rest on. I put blocking in between to ensure the spacing and to have another means of tying them in without using the joist hangers that you can buy like at the box stores. I would nail into the blocking and then angle nails into the beams, and that just ties it in pretty well. I'll bring you up top and we'll have a look overhead here. I won't ramble too long, but that turned out pretty sturdy. I've got the post in the midway of everything in the center, and these center beams are tying into that and the end midway beams. So that turned out to be very, very solid. If you paid attention, you also saw I used construction grade lags in all the banding and critical joints of this build. I would never use decking screws. You want to use the proper fasteners for the application. These were like 4-inch saber drives, and then where I secured the banding to the midway supports, I used a 10-inch saber drive that went all the way in. And of course, as I explained before, this very outside band is proud of the post, 1 3/4 inches. I'll have an inch and a half of board and batten combined siding that'll rest on this outside band. Then I'll have drip edge under that. It'll be a 1/4 inch proud, that band will, just for a cleaner look. So I'll come back and when we revisit this project, I will have 1-inch thick boards I will cover this with. I will then cover it with tar paper. I'll spray it with biffen as well. Let it dry, and then I'll cover this with tar paper, and I will start framing up the walls. I'm also going to put the lateral strips that the board and batten will be nailing to. And by the time I frame this wall, I want to come over how far I'm going to go, and then the lateral strips will rest onto the wall and be flush with the outside of this post for the board and batten to nail to. And that'll just keep it tighter and cleaner, I think. And then we'll come back in here later and put plywood down. I've got a roll of linoleum I've had at my mom's shop for years and years. I think it's a hardwood design linoleum I'll put down in here. Be easy to keep clean. Also, the first 2 foot of this is going to be like a porch area, and then the entryway will be right here opening going in. So I'm going to wind up with about a 10 by 12 building. I wanted to keep a little porch here. That way when I roll the mill all the way back, I can work on it. I'm not crammed in here tight. I also might extend that 2 feet with some more railing I will make myself to get that saw head back a little further. I'm also going to get ready to do a reset, so I'm going to slide this thing on down. There's a foot of beam left down there, so I'm going to slide this mill a foot on down, add 2 foot here. That's going to give me 3 more feet of cutting ability, and that's going to get me close to 20 foot without buying extra extensions, but not quite. But I will be able to increase my milling ability lengthwise. That's the reason for the porch, and plus I want to be able to put a big shop fans blowing down. But yeah, that's about going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed. I tried not to talk too much and just show the work. But you know, working by myself a lot. My daughter did come out and help a little bit. I let her drive a few nails, so she came out for a little while it was still cool. She's getting better. The kids really like coming out. I let them come out. I enjoy having them out here. I don't always show them on camera, but they come out here a lot and help me. I didn't let them come out when I was setting beams because that's kind of dangerous. I don't want my kids to get hurt out here helping me. So when it's something where they're not going to get hurt, I'll have them out and they'll help me. But they really like getting involved, and I'm grateful for that. I want them to be knowledgeable about this kind of stuff, whether they use it in their adult life or not. They'll at least have that knowledge. But Anyway, if you watched this far, I thank you. If you're subscribed, I really thank you, and you're really what makes the channel. I'm up to about 608 subscribers now, so we're slowly climbing up there. In the video, when we revisit, like I said, we'll be doing the boards on the flooring, and we'll probably do the walls. I'll probably tile that into the next video. The flooring, covering the floor and getting the walls up, and then maybe put the rafters and metal roofing into another video. But anyway, I appreciate you all for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.